Hello, this is Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends Blogspot. It is June 17th, Sunday, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Let's go ahead and take a look at some stocks for trading on Monday. We've got shares of Cypress Semiconductor on the screen right now. I think you know I've been bullish on the semiconductors. The SMH had a great test of support on that weekly time frame and saw a real nice rally over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. One stock that hasn't really gone quite as far as some of the other ones, and I think still has a good chance of continuing higher, is this Cypress Semi, symbol CY. They did have a positive earnings surprise, I remember, back when they reported last, I think, over there. And it kind of digested those gains, went back and forth here with these 10 and 20-day moving average crossing, found support at the 50-day moving average. Now we've got the 10 back above the 20, and it looks like the stock should get going once again. In fact, I think it's going to make it up to about 23.5. That's going to be our price objective in here. So now let's figure out how to buy this thing. I think what you want to do is just purchase this stock above $22.20. I think that gives us confirmation that the buyers have regained control of the short-term trend in here. And at that point, once you're in it, I think your stop can go down at about $21.98. So risking about 22 cents in shares of CY for upside if it makes it to our target of $23.50 of $1.30. The market's obviously been on fire. One recipient of that should be one beneficiary of that, actually, not recipient, but beneficiary of all the trading volume and that sort of thing is Schwab, SCHW. This stock broke out past some resistance at 20 bucks a share about 4 weeks ago. And the stock looks like it is consolidated on diminishing volume in here. If we look at the monthly time frame, you can see it looks like it's still got some room to the upside, which is just a real nice, healthy uptrend in here. And I think it ought to keep going, probably even up to that $30 level. That's not going to be our price target. If you're an investor, maybe you want to consider something like that. But what I think we want to look for here is simply a break past some short-term resistance at 21.85. Just get above Friday afternoon's highs of 21.85. Once you're in the stock, I think right below that 5-day moving average, or about 21.58, is a logical place for a stop. That's 27 cents away. And our target would then be $23.25. That gives us $1.40 of upside and just 27 cents of risk. So 23.25 is the price objective there. A little stock, ZHNE, it's speculative. Don't put your whole account into it and all that sort of thing. But looking good here. Looking like it's maybe getting ready to really push past this resistance level near 151 or so is ZHNE. And you look at the weekly time frame, you can see why I like this stock so much. You know, this level is about 153. I think what I've got written down here is we want to buy the stock above a $1.50. If it trades a $1.51, I'll probably be in there buying some of this thing. Maybe I add to it above that $1.54 because that seems to be the level where it's had a little bit of resistance. In fact, let's take a look and see what this high is. That's 155. I think really clearing 155 though gets the stock moving. And our upside, I'm looking for about $1.80. So basically about this low right here. I think it could go higher than that, but that's just an initial area where I think that we can target. And I know these little stocks get going pretty good on the upside when they go. So above a $1.50, I think you want to buy it. Stop down at about a $1.43 seems real safe to me. That's 7 cents away. And if it's to run up to a target of a $1.80, that's 30 cents. So risking 7 cents to make, what did I say, 30 cents. Let's take a look at a short, and then I'll go to my last long. The short would be Bank of America, symbol BAC. And it's not necessarily an interest rate play, but obviously, you know, higher interest rates hurt banks. It squeezes their margins. So we'll see. You know, I'm not going to get into the fundamentals of it because that's not my area of expertise. But you can see here that last year and early this year, the stock had some pretty good support. It looked like about 51.5 or so. That level's been acting as resistance here. Now we've got the 200-day moving average. That's this green 40-week moving average that's referenced right here. We got that declining. We've got a declining 10, 20, 30, 40 weeks. So it tells me big money's moving out of this stock. And you don't want to fight them. Here we've got a recent breakdown as well of what you want to call this little uptrend line here, and where it's been consolidating. Maybe you call it a triangle, whatever you want to call it. But the point is, the stock's broken down, rallied back up on light volume. Friday we had big volume without further upside, possibly distribution. Here's what I want to see happen before I get short this stock, though. I'd like to see a rally up to about $50.15. So, you know, that sounds stupid, but I want to see strength is the point. It doesn't matter if it's 3 cents or if it's 15 cents from here that it rallies to. I want to see a little bit of strength, and then I want to see it break back down below 50 bucks a share. So a little bit of strength first, sell short that weakness below 50 bucks a share. I think your stop can go at 50.28, and that's obviously 28 cents of risk, and the target in here would be about 48.50. This low right in here I think was 48.36 or something, but we'll call it 48.50 for a downside target. That'd be 28 cents of risk for a $1.50 of potential opportunity in shares of Bank of America. Last stock we'll look at is Pioneer Drilling, symbol PDC. If we take a look at a weekly time frame, you can see nice breakout here. This kind of looks like that weekly chart of the SMH. Let's take a look at that just to refresh your memory. This breakout here is what I was talking about earlier on the semiconductors. This breakout, then pull back. But back to PDC here on the weekly time frame, same kind of thing. We had big volume last week. Let's take a look at the daily to see really what that means. The big volume didn't really come in until Thursday and Friday when the stock was moving higher once again. So don't automatically disclude something because it was down on the week, and it might have even been up on the week. I don't know, but because of that big volume. The point is you have to look a little bit further to really see what that volume meant a lot of times. So we've got a rising 50-day moving average. 10's coming down. I'm not too worried about that because we got a rising 20 as well. In PDC, another buy on strength. Let's buy this one above 15.05. I think your stop can go pretty close by at about 14.81, so that's only 24 cents of risk, and I think that it's got a pretty good chance of making it up to at least $16.25. That's $1.20 away, so that's a nice rich reward right there.